Hello again folks, this is Jeering Soul from EVL Gaming, and if you came from my last video on farming, you'll remember that we just kind of put this together. Right now all the items coming out of the farm are going right into this chest, just through a standard golden transport pipe, and the planter is empty because nothing is being fed into it. So I'm going to take a minute to first show you what's going on in this tower at the end over here. So we're at the end of our farm here. We were just at the other side there, and here is where everything gets sent into the ground that gets harvested. There's also another one on that end too. So let's fall down the rabbit hole and see where this goes. This is some rednet cable just to allow us to control different things at different times. And now we are in the base of the biofuel tower, and you can see it goes all the way up there. So what's happening down here? Well, there's some biofuel, but where's all these plants going? Ah, right here. Input interface. So this is using a combination of the logistics pipe system, which is right here. Here's the logistics power junction. And this is the applied energistics terminal right here, as well as some input interfaces. We can see the network is running underneath the floor, and it's kind of looking a little crappy, but that's okay for now. So if we look in the terminal, you can see what kind of items we got. And holy cow, there's a whole lot of carrots in here, and there's about 1 million potatoes. And let's see, this server's been running for about a month, so we've gotten about 1 million potatoes in a month's time. And our biofuel tanks are nice and full because we're not really doing a whole lot except getting the power situation up and going. So the purpose of getting all these plants in here and making biofuel is that we can feed this biofuel into a biofuel generator, which produces 16 Minecraft joules per tick, which is the highest of any engine in Tekkit right now. And up here are the biofuel reactors, or the bioreactors, and they are requesting potatoes, carrots, and everything out of the computer, essentially from downstairs, and turning it into biofuel and storing it in these tanks. Okay, so I've got a little tiny spot over here built up where we're gonna go ahead and set up our own logistics network. I'm not going to go into applied energistics just yet, just because it's kind of confusing, and once you get the logistics pipes down, applied energistics is much easier. So I'm going to grab a logistics power junction, and I'll throw that down over here. Don't want to use a tesseract. Let's get a conductive pipe, because we've got power just right down here. And I've never really hooked one of these up to a conductive pipe before, but I think it should work. Same kind of concept. Yep, there it goes. It's gonna fill that sucker up with power for days. And that's kind of the nice thing. It stores a whole lot of power, because when you're starting up, your power generation isn't always very reliable. So it's kind of nice to have a buffer. So for every transaction, or every time anything gets routed through a pipe, that uses 1 Minecraft joule, just one. And these stores, let's see, 2 million of those in here, so definitely lots of stuff built up. So you're gonna need a basic pipe to connect to connect to this box over here, and you can see it's got kind of like a golden red kind of look to it, just to signify that it's powered. And I like gold transport pipes because they're nice and fast. Then I'll get a couple of chests here. Whoop, didn't want to do that. And just so you know, these don't all need to be logistics pipes. You can kind of connect the network up that way, and the network will travel over that golden pipe. So you can see when it's connected, it turns green. When it's not connected, it turns red. And even when they're not connected, you can see, oh, there's another logistics pipe to the right of me. There's a logistics pipe on the left and right side of this one. And connecting to the chest is obviously red because there's no logistics properties to those at all. So we need the prototype Omni wrench. You use that to change the requested items from the basic pipe. And instead of going down there to that chest, let's have this, I'll just kind of have this feed this. So anything coming out of the planter now, or out of, sorry, the harvester, is going to come down this way. So which chest is it going to go in? Let's say I want it to go in this end chest here. I'll get my wrench, I'll right click the basic, that is a basic logistics pipe. Again, my take on recipes is that they're useless on videos because if you're watching this 6 months from now, the recipe may have changed. That happens sometimes. So I'll link you to the wiki guide, and that should have the most up-to-date recipe. So I'll say that we want potatoes. Lots of potatoes. And the more potatoes I put in there, the higher priority it gets. So if I put in just one potato here, and we're harvesting a whole bunch of potatoes, why aren't you harvesting? You're just being slow, I guess. It's going to put the priority into going to this end chest. So let me get some fertilizer in here so we can speed this up a little bit. And again, I am going to show you how to make fertilizer. It is not pretty, just as much as it sounds like, you know, making fertilizer. And I'll fill up the planter too. And yeah, I don't think we've got anything coming in yet. Whoop, here it comes. Oh, but look at that. None of it is going down here. So, when I told you that that changed priority, I was lying to you. Shame on me for lying to you, huh? But what if I go this way? What if I do this? And I'll put a basic pipe. Oh. Looks like all the potatoes are exclusively coming this way now. So why is that? Does it have to do with priority? No, it doesn't have anything to do with priority. There isn't such a thing in logistics pipes. Actually, that's not true. There is something to do with priority. I just haven't looked too much into it yet. And it doesn't work so well. It works pretty good in applied energistics, but essentially what's happening here is the basic pipe here, there's an intersection. Should the potatoes go forward or should they go right? And what the logistics network says is, I want to go the quickest way. So right now, the quickest way is going this way and going here into this potato chest. Because this path over here takes a long time to come all the way around to there. But if I break this pipe, it's going to re-update its routing table and it'll know to send it the correct way. So I'll put that back. But if I say have a break here, it's still going to go that way. And if this happens to be a very long path for whatever reason, well, you can get that it's probably going to go the short way. Oop, don't want to have connecting there. Okay, so there it goes. It's going this way now because that path is still short. But if I break this path, it's gonna still take the long way. And this is kind of crummy. I know this is kind of slow, guys. I apologize for that. Yeah, it's not picking up those things. You'll see one in a second. Yeah, there it goes. It's taken this long path, but if it has the choice of two paths, it always takes the shortest one. So if you have a big sorting room, kind of like how we do for this server, you can put in a lot of different routes to get items to where they need to go quickly. But before I do that, I'm going to put in a provider pipe. Or at least I thought I was going to. I guess I didn't want to go in my inventory. So this is the Mk.II pipe. The Mk.II provider pipe is better than the Mk.I pipe because it's able to better see what is in the inventory. Okay. So I'm gonna need to feed potatoes to the planter here. So I can make one new pipe segment coming from, and I need to get rid of this crap over here. That's just silly. And one note, if you have an intersection of pipes, kind of like right here, where it has 3 possible routes, it will randomly select which way it's going to go, unless I put a basic pipe down. The basic pipe knows that there's nothing over here, and there's nothing requesting anything coming from this pipe, so it won't ever send any potatoes in that direction. It'll just shoot it off into the edge of space. But if I had a gold pipe there, it would possibly have a chance of going off into space. So remember, at intersections, just throw a basic pipe down because the system will know where everything needs to go. If you understand TCP/IP networking, every potato basically, when it enters a pipe, is given an IP address, if you will, and it needs to go here to this IP address. And these basic pipes simply act as routers or switches, and they know, okay, that needs to go out this pipe, or that needs to go out this pipe, etc. But I'm going to shut up now and stop being a nerd and get to the provider pipe. So I can leave this empty, and it'll provide any items in here onto the network. Or I can throw a potato in there, and it's going to say, hey, this chest has potatoes in it. If anybody needs potatoes, pull them out of here. And I could just make a direct pipe going to here, but I don't want to do that because then that would create a second logistics network, and that too would need to be powered. So I'll just kind of do this. I've got an intersection here, so I'll throw the basic pipe down so we know where everything needs to go. And over here, I need another basic pipe because I'm going to break it off and have it come into this direction. And finally, I need a supplier pipe. And I always kind of forget what pipe does what. But the supplier pipe always has a plus on it because it's going to be adding items. You see the relation there? And the provider pipe's just kind of a blue square. So let me add some more potatoes in here so you can better see how this works. And I'll fill up the planter with potatoes too. Just for demonstrative purposes, you'll see why I'm doing that in a second. Boy, it is getting dark really quickly in here. I'm gonna go... I've got a bunch of spotlights here kind of pointing down the way here. So I'm gonna turn that on quick. Huzzah, we have light. Just because I don't like having to switch to day all the time. So we've got some light now. Yes, those floodlights are really OP. They're hitting over here. They're hitting the edge of this rock here, and they're way down there. And all it needs is a redstone switch. So yeah, those are great. Anyway, enough ranting. Full potatoes over here. This provider pipe says, "Hey, I've got potatoes in this chest." It is hooked into the rest of our network. Remember, the power's right there. And it is hooking up right into the network here. And I'm gonna say keep this inventory here, the planter inventory, full of potatoes. And I'm gonna say yes to partial requests. If you say no to partial requests, it'll say I need these 9 stacks of potatoes, or I need no potatoes at all. So all or nothing is what partial request setting to no means. If I set it to yes, that means even if you don't have 9 stacks, send them to me anyway. And here they come. And I think we just cleaned out all of the potatoes. Oh no, we didn't. So the only downside is the supplier pipe inventory only has 9 slots, whereas this harvester has, you know, a whole lot more than 9 slots. So if I take out a few more, you'll see them kind of shoot over here. Yeah, there they go. And now it's filled up again. So I'm going to take all these out. It's going to shoot them over. And there it goes. This should be empty now. And I'm going to take out the rest again. Just for a quick demonstration. Planter's empty. Our potato storage is also empty. That one has some in there, but we don't have a provider pipe hooked up. Basic pipes will not pull items out of chests. Basic pipes just put items into a certain chest. But there's all these potatoes here that can be harvested, potentially. I don't have the right upgrade in there. That's why it's kind of missing this whole row over here. I put a copper upgrade in there instead of a bronze one. And they kind of look exactly the same. I guess there's a slight tune. So yeah, there it goes. Potatoes are going to go in. See them going up. Now they're going back down. Going in and going out. Going in, going out. So yeah, every potato we're harvesting right now is getting used up. But over time, we're gonna start to have a surplus. So let's get the fertilizer going, get some more potatoes going through here. And just to speed things up, I'll throw a couple stacks in there. And very soon, we should have a surplus of potatoes in here. And lots of lovely sludge. As you can see, potatoes don't really generate a whole lot of sludge. Saplings, however, do like to do that. So let's try something else. Saplings. We're talking about it. And if you understand how this generally works, I'm not really going to show anything else, just a couple more examples, so I don't want to waste your time. So go ahead and get building if you know what you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to hook this up quick. Whoop. Potatoes going everywhere. I'm going to throw a stack of saplings in there. And I'm going to say you can provide some saplings. And I want to have a variance of what I'm planting here, right? So come to the supplier pipe and say 8 stacks of potatoes, 1 stack of saplings. Okay, so I'll take out 1 stack and in go the saplings. So right now, I guess this is where the filters would come in use. It's only going to plant whatever's in that first row there. So once we get some room going, it'll start, yeah, here comes some saplings. And before I use the bone meal on it, I need to make sure that I'm sorting it. Where did the bone meal go? So I'm gonna, yeah, so this chest is where all the saplings are gonna go. Bone meal time. Oop. And how are these able to grow in the dark? Well, that's because our floodlights are kind of affecting us. Remember, plants can't grow at night, but if you have floodlights, they'll grow just as if they were in the sun. So here we are. We should get a couple of saplings coming through. And yep, here they come, right into there. If I told them to come to this one, they would all just kind of shoot out right here. Maybe. We'll see. I'm not entirely certain how that will play out. Yep, it's shooting them out like a cannon. And they're kind of landing over here. But I don't want to do that. I like my saplings. So you get the idea? You get the idea here? Ah, I'm stuck in a tree. Let me out. You get the idea about how sorting could work. If you have plenty of chests or deep storage units, you can make a pretty snazzy system of sorting items. You could hook a quarry up to it. And, oh wait a minute, we already did that. Let me take you over to the sorting room. So we're going on our way to the sorting room. One thing I wanted to point out, aside from the building that exploded over there because of a bit of a power issue, is this transport pipe. And there's a lot of fertilizer going through there right now. And we are making fertilizer. I'll show you that in the next video. And I'm going to show you just a peek at what the sorting room looks like. So this is our mountain complex, and the sorting room is in here. Okay, ta-da, we're in the sorting room. Look at this giant mess of, I don't even, whatever this is. No, actually I do know what this is because I built it, but if I didn't know what this was, I would be a little confused. There's lapis lazuli, potato, sapling, apple, all kinds of different things. And I'm going to talk about some more things in the next video. Thanks for watching.